What is up, dudes, and welcome back to another RX7 video. But today, first thing we got to do is we got to get out of here and we got to go get us some parts down at the warehouse, the farm, whatever it is you want to say, the place where we keep the RX7 for the winter, the storage. We're on our way. Oh yeah. I have to go take a look at that because we picked that up a few weeks ago and I didn't film a thing. Finding parts. Everything's stuffed into the Nova. I was about to die, so I'll just grab my stuff and then I'll get back with you boys when we get back home. Craig, we need to talk about this car. Didn't find nearly as many parts as I wish I did. Could have. Ended up going there for parts and ended up coming back with like a punching bag and a whole bunch of other stuff. I was able to get my seat back. It's a little dirty, moldy. Bong, 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 bong. RX7 stuff. All right. And I got door panels and stuff. And a piece of plastic to test fit on the roof because I'm sure you guys noticed that my ceiling's not quite done yet. So I got the seat, door panels, some of these stuff panels, these plastic door handles, some nuts and bolts. Still missing a few things that I thought were going to be there, but they're not. Let's see what's in there because I'm still missing marker lights for the back. I'm missing the brake booster and the master cylinder that I wanted to find for the El Camino. I thought was all there. Kick panels I'm missing. Made a list. Still missing a lot of RX7 stuff. Yeah, I'm assuming that the missing parts, hopefully the bolt for the brakes, the parking brake, and the lights and stuff that I'm missing, it's in one of those. And I'm really hoping I don't have to dig too deep. Was heavy. RX7 body kit. I think this is the right one. Kit panels. A lot of race car stuff in here. Switch panel I made, tow hooks, gasket maker stuff. Alright. Nice Sparco shift mount. Here's my e-brake. Yeah, found one of those marker lights. Brand new marker lights. That's cool. Bolts off I don't know what. Brand new tie rod in. That's cool. Inner tie rod. Got some gauge pods that I probably won't use. Plug for the radiator. Another quick release bumper kit. You know, in the last video I showed you these things dried out real quick. These aren't dried out, but they're still sealed. More inner trim parts. A little tiny foot. Got some nice fender bolts too. That would be cool for something. Oh boy, oh boy. Haha, I found the original brake bolt. Adjustable tie down rod things if you want to do like a splitter or for a wing on the back, NASCAR style. RX interior door panel pieces, plastic trim pieces. This is interesting. It's actually a very old. Give me that. This is like a really old line lock. It was in a tractor, I think. I had it given to me. So, anyways, hook your brake lines into it, run it through the system like that. Your brakes work normal. Push the pedal down. Boom. Front wheels are locked. You can do all the burnouts you want. All right, so I got this little checklist I wrote out. I'm just gonna cross-check that real quick and see if I got everything, and then we could do stuff. Maybe even another hydro brake in there. So, anyway, there's a lot of cool stuff in here. Fuel filters. I'll put this stuff back. Oh, I just broke something. Stupid gauge pods. So, I'll put what I don't need back in there for now, and I'll keep it real close. There's a lot of fun stuff in this box. Stuff, you know, when you have something so long you forget you had it. Exactly. Alright, Alright, so now that I got mostly everything, I found a bunch of stuff. I can start putting the back end of the car back together because the paint's dry, it's prepped, it's good to go. Just gonna mount you guys in a little mount here. I got some hardware. Open up the junk drawer. Every garage should have at least one of those full of nuts and bolts. I have multiple amongst all my other parts and stuff. If you don't have one of these lying around full of old bolts from other jobs and leftover stuff, are you really a garage? So, I found some bolts. They're a little big for where I want to put them in, but this is aluminum. These bolts are hardened steel. Bolts are a lot tougher than the aluminum is, so it should push it out just enough and it should dig its way through, essentially threading it. So when I get it in there, I'm not going to tighten it too tight, just enough so it fits nice and snug up against this piece, up against this piece. We should be all right. All right, the bracket for the lights, for the license plate, mounted. So I'm just gonna throw the lights in here, and then we can mount the bumper and see how it looks. Once again, I don't have the appropriate hardware from those lights that I actually bolted the lights on, so I'm gonna have to get creative a little bit. But instead of putting like wood screws or something, I found these nice little Allen head things. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm gonna use that to put it in, and it should look a lot nicer than just a regular Phillips screw or whatever. Starting with the driver's side of the car. Only fits in one way. Try to lift it up so you guys can see a bit. So it's only gonna fit in one way because of the way the point comes here. You can see it's kind of, for you guys facing down, for me it's facing up. Just slide that in the slot. Kind of clips in nicely to place. Just fitting over the bumper. Take a little Allen bolt deal. Slide her through there. The other one seemed to fit better. I don't know what's going on here. Washer. And then tiny nuts. Just to keep it from slipping off. Put the two nuts on just in case it vibrates itself off. I don't want to lose a light somewhere on the road because they're not cheap. Repeat the process on the opposite side. Slide the light into place. Make sure your wiring is tucked in good. And then it should pop into place too. Look at that. Got this. See, it fits way better that side. Washer, nut. Lights are far from perfect, but so is the bumper. So I'm not too worried. Not exactly, but it's got pretty close to matching the paint. Not so terrible. So under here, that's where I gotta put some bolts and stuff to mount those puppies. That'll hold in this whole piece here. And then on top, where the lights are and stuff, if you look, I got some holes there. We can line them all up. That way the bumper won't shake around, it won't shimmy, it won't be hanging off. Hopefully it won't look like the car was put up against the wall and glued back together. Put the washer because I don't want the plastic, the bumper to be jumping out on it. Wrecking it all, making the holes bigger and then not being able to fix it after. So the silver kind of clashes with the black very badly. Doesn't look cool, but it'll work good. So like I mentioned in one of the previous videos working on this thing, got to put the center light bar in first, maybe last. No, look at that groove. That's got to go in last. That's got to go in after the taillights. So we'll put the two taillights that I brought home. They're not fish tanks. They should be okay. There's no holes in them. There's no condensation, and it should look a lot better too. Those other ones, they didn't sit right because they were off a different year car, and it just looked kind of sketchy. So these taillights are not the greatest shape either. They're banged up, they're scuffed up, but they should look a lot better. Now, third brake light should be straightforward. Sorry about the lighting, it's kind of bad, but I'm working with what I got. So this can go on here, clips in nicely, and there's just two bolts on the back. There's supposed to be four, but the studs were broken off the other side. there it is. So I still have to fix the bottom of that bumper because it looks kind of funny hanging down, but it's looking way more like a car now. Well, the whole idea, basically, like, I want to put this car back on the street because I now have the El Camino to drift with, or I will soon. That's what I've been saying these last few videos, and the idea of putting this car back all nice and kind of neat and streetable and stuff like that, I want to enjoy it on the street. I also like to take it out, do some time attack, do some real driving, learn how to just learn everything, relearn, keep learning and all that kind of stuff. Like, and that's about it for today. Sorry, it was like a kind of a messed up, weird video. Might be kind of short and whatnot. We didn't get a whole lot done, but that's because I spent half the time running around looking for parts, trying to find parts, and then going through the old boxes, bolts and stuff like that, and making up stuff that I could put the parts on with. And anyways, that's the way it is sometimes, but next time we'll get into it more. Maybe I'll adjust the back bumper and the muffler and stuff to fit properly, but I'd like to do some interior panels also. Plus, we got to fix the brake now that I have the bolt for the brake part, and we should be good to go. So stay tuned because there's more to come.